No, is it something more radical, or maybe as a lot of people have also attributed, saying, look, the party or the government is not addressing the root cause of this. Take, for instance, if people find out that, look, I can't get to a particular position or a school on merit. If there's a system that says, well, if I get, no matter how high you score, I will always get in. You don't think people will do all they can to ensure that they get in?
No.
If people find out that they can be nominated in positions, just a minute, if they find out that they can get into certain positions, not on merit, what do you think the other people will do? If people lose their jobs, over 3 million of them, how do they go by?
Let me. Now you have put too many issues and boxed them into one. Let's take them one after the other. You know, I'm sure this thing has been said over and over again. You know, the federal character. You know, on one hand. You know, and you know, some of these things, affirmative action and all these things. Some of these things exist in other climes. You know, let me explain. Wait, let me explain something. You know, I once worked for a South African company. You know, and I traveled out of this country to South Africa to qualify, to be part of the team that qualified, you know, companies that worked, you know, that will qualify a contractor who will carry out a major work in that company. Now, various companies from all over the world came to make their presentation. And this company from UK, by our understanding, was the best. This company made the best presentation. I won't mention the name of the company, and I won't mention. So this company made the best presentation, but was not given the job. Why? Because they looked at one of the criteria for scoring all of the company. They said that company, being from UK, does not have this affirmative action for the employment of blacks.
So what's your point?
The point I'm saying is that, look, it's not just peculiar alone to Nigeria or anything that you have certain criteria. I mean,
so now you're explaining away.
Let me explain something.
Are you excusing away what's going on?
No. This is something. If you say that some regions, some areas are educationally disadvantaged, if you put the bar at the same level with other places, you won't have anybody in that area.
No,
you don't listen to
I'm
me.
saying,
I know that's where you are coming.
System.
No.
Maybe I should rephrase it so you understand
so that you make yourself clearer.
If a system, if people believe that the system is skewed against those who are supposed to get to certain positions on merit, how wouldn't that system encourage corruption?
The system in Nigeria. I mean, you need to clarify your position with Chamberlain for us to be able to have a good discussion. You know, I mean, let us. I know this.
What position? You don't understand how the.
No, this aspect, this thing you're talking about. I mean, you talk about federal character or something like that. No, we are discussing as Nigerians now. You know, and we must, you know, lay all the cards on the table. What is the problem? You know, if you talk about federal character is something that is important for us to bring on, you know, to be able to, you know, ensure equitable participation of various regions.
Do you think that?
Let
me comment at this point. Do you think, for instance, that the strategy for this government in fighting corruption could have addressed the loss of 400 billion naira to corruption?
See, if you just say that to your listeners, that may appear a bit chicanery, some sort of chicanery. I mean, a bit deceptive. You know why? If you don't quite understand that, number one, government is a continuum. Number two, government is made up of three major organs. You have the executive, you have the legislature, and you have the judiciary. You know, the executive only executes the laws made by the legislature, you know, and the judiciary interprets the law. It is when all these various organs work in unison towards achieving the goals of the Nigerian people you know, the desires of the Nigerian people as the major stakeholders, you know, in the enterprise. That is where you can have, you know, a wholesome, you know, polity. A polity, a nation, a country in which you and I, you know, would be very, you know, would be proud of.